I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride.
It was around 8 o'clock when you came back to your home, turning on the dim light in the living room. You twirled your car keys around your finger before placing it back in a seashell bowl. Letting out a sigh, you dropped your bag on the floor and then plopped down on the couch. You rubbed your head gently and then pouring water into the glass, you sipped it in one go. You were exhausted from a long day, so you got up and went to the upstairs to take a warm shower as you wanted the warm water to take all your tiredness and fatigue away. After taking a shower, you changed into comfortable night suit as you were about to lay on the bed. But you felt your stomach grumbling with hunger as you had not eaten anything since the morning. Your exams were going on and you were studying hard to score better marks this time, realizing that if you didn't eat anything right now you will get fainted. So you walked to the downstairs while rubbing your tummy gently. Ah, my poor tummy, just wait a little more. You murmured to yourself while opening the fridge, grabbing 2 eggs along with bacon. You turned on the flame after sparkling some oil on it. Once you were done making the food, you put it in the plate and garnishing it with a little bit of black pepper and parsley. You were about to take the plate in the living room when the doorbell rang. After cooking the meal, I grabbed the plate so that I could take it in the living room where I could sit peacefully and have my meal. But no, the word peace doesn't exist in my life. Suddenly, loud knocking of the door made me jump on the floor. Who idiot bangs on the door like this? People really need to stop knocking on the door so loud. The person inside the house is not a deaf, but I think my brother's supposed not to be considered in people or human category, as he is a monkey who knows how to ruin the peace of everyone's life by doing weird things. I walked to the main door with a groan and opened the door, not bothering to see if it actually was my brother or someone else, cause I already know it's him. Yunwoo, I told you to behave like a normal boy, I said without looking back as I was quickly walking to the kitchen so that my meal doesn't get cold. Can't you talk to me nicely? He said, walking behind me to the kitchen. I guess this bar has smelled the bacon. Oh my, now I'm gonna starve again if his eyes fell on my meal. I quickly covered the food with another plate before his sharp eyes could catch it. So, how you came so early today? I said, just to divert his attention from the smell. I didn't come alone, so who is here? He said, stepping aside. I frowned and my eyes sparkled as I witnessed gorgeous boy standing in front of his perfectly styled hair, lip-piercing, sharp jawline, and goldly feature. His eyes full of enthusiasm and muscles nicely built up made my heart bounce inside my body. He was so handsome that I could melt. He noticed me and smiled a little. I literally cursed myself for wearing a oversized night suit in which I was looking a plus size teddy bear. Why I didn't put on some makeup on my face? I was literally wishing that I could just rewind all this, run back to my room, wear something nice, fix my hair, put on some makeup, and then come downstairs. Hey Ryan, it's my friend Jeon Jungkook. Do you remember him? My school friend. By the way, he came back in Seoul after 10 years. Actually, his parents had sent him to the Paris for higher studies, and as soon as he completed graduation, he came back. My eyes widened while jaw dropped hearing his name, Jungkook, Jeon Jungkook, Eunwoo's best friend since kindergarten. I still remember the first time I met him on Eunwoo's birthday party. I was 5 years old that time. I was wearing a Cinderella dress and was playing with my friend Arya, who was wearing mermaid dress. Meanwhile, Eunwoo came to me and holding my hand, he dragged me to his friends, where Jeon Jungkook was also standing along with some of his friends sipping an orange juice. He looked so handsome and attractive that I couldn't resist and walked to him to introduce myself. Hi, my name is Lee Ryan, I said, reaching my hand out for him to shake. Jungkook looked at me and laughed out loudly. My brown eyebrows are crunched as I blink my eyes, looking at him confused. Hi, Miss Cinderella. You dressed up like this to impress me, but sorry, You will have to try hard to impress handsome boy like me. Well, I won't mind if he says, smirking at me. Hmm, he was hardly 8 years old and having high expectations about himself. Like, did he really think that I was trying to impress him, or did I wear the Cinderella frock for him? I was hardly 5 years old, and why would I impress him? It was my brother's party, that's why I dressed up like that. I had not even known that he was Yunwoo's best friend. I was really pissed off by his way of thinking, so I replied him back with a scoff. Sorry, little boy, but trust me, please see yourself in the mirror before highly expecting something. I said to him with teary eyes, though he was the most handsome boy I had ever met, but to save myself from the embarrassment I had to say like that. His eyes narrowed and he stepped towards me. His eyes were holding an uncertain range, but before he could yell back at me, I called for Yunwoo, and seeing him, he backed off, glaring at me. After that day, he used to come to our house as he was Yunwoo's friend, and I couldn't say anything cause Yunwoo used to have a great time with him. Well, I pretty much declared him as my enemy and would only talk to him when I wanted to piss him off. And one day he left Yunwoo as his parents sent him to the Paris for higher studies. Yunwoo really cried at that time as he always treated Jungkook as his own beloved brother, and similar was the case with Jungkook as I could see sadness in his eyes when they both hugged Yunwoo for one last time. I didn't know why, but I also felt something missing after he was gone. Back to the main topic. Jungkook fetched his hand out from his pocket and extended it to you to shake. I rolled my eyes, but only for Inu. I handshake with him, forcing a smile. You have been changed a lot, Ryan. You became more beautiful and attractive, he said, playfully smirking at me. I gave him a cheeky smile and looked at Yunwoo, who was trying to cover my meal. I hit him on his head and jerked. Hey, it's mine. I won't share it with you. If you're starving, then you can make for yourself. I said, almost yelling at him because every time I wanna eat something to my fullest, my dear brother snatches it away from myself. I glanced at Jungkook. Oh, his smile. His smile could actually end the wars, but not my hunger. As I grabbed the plate and put all the food in my mouth, making both of them look shocked at me. Now you both make food for yourself. Find a way to make yourself useful here. I hardly spoke as I was chewing the food, only I knew how I fit all the food in my small mouth. They both looked at my mouth in a disbelief, but seriously, I had nothing to do with this, as I had to prepare for my English test, which will be happening tomorrow, and to make my mind function properly, I needed some energy in the form of food. Yunwoo glared at me and came to me with his long and sturdy steps as he held my hand to the counter, making. Can't you see my friend is watching us? He whispered. I let out a scoff just to make him more pissed off. Hey Yunwoo, what are you doing? Leave her. I know Mayan is childish and little one, so it's not a big deal. He said, smirking at me. Yunwoo backed off before shooting me a glare. Hey, I'm not little anymore, and you, Yunwoo, you deserve something right now. I said an empty plate on his direction. Licking tongue at both of them, I ran to the upstairs before he would catch me again. You brought her. He was speaking out while trying to run behind me, but Jungkook cut him off by pulling him back to him. That's fine. She's your little sister. Let's stay at ease. He said, patting his best friend's shoulder to calm him down. Reaching the room, I let out a sigh and sat on the bed with my book open, as I will have to prepare for my English test. 15 minutes passed as I was concentrating on my book, but suddenly loud music blasted the furniture of my bedroom, while my body also danced with the beat. With the music blaring in my room, even with windows closed, I let out a groan and slammed my book shut, cause it ain't gonna happen in this much loud music for me to study or focus on my essay. Why it's so loud? Are they deaf or what? With a frustrating sigh, I got up from the bed and without wearing my shoes, I quickly walked to the downstairs. I walked in front of them and stood there with my hands over my chest. I snapped at the sound system and instructed Yunu with my hands to turn it down cause he wouldn't be able to hear me in this much loud music. But see, they both looked at me confused as if I was mad. A huge round of applause for our neighbors who have not called the cops yet. Please slow down the volume. I am preparing for my test. I yelled at them, but to no avail. I think they have gone blind as well, while they are only staring at my face. Thankfully, out of these two dumps, one decided to slow down the music. Of course, it was Jungkook who looked at me with a devilish smile toying on his lips. What happened, Ryan? He asked, smiling at me. I am trying to prepare for my English test, but I am not able because of this much loud music. I explained, but even when I said so, I realized how much nerd I sounded to him as he scoffed. You have your whole life to study, little girl. Come here and join us. He said, extended a glass to me. I rolled my eyes while my cheeks heated up hearing that. Cook, that's my sister, he said, but Jungkook let out a belly gut laugh in a response. I glared at him with my hands clenched into fists while Jungkook laughed, looking at me as if I was the funniest thing to joke about. With foot stomping, I went upstairs to my room. Why and even her name make my heartbeat race faster. I want to say her that I feel alive whenever I see her. My eyes sparkle only by her name, but I kept it mouth shut as I guess she has no interest in me. I couldn't just take her out from my mind since I was 8 when I saw her for the first time in Yunu's birthday party wearing a Cinderella dress. She was little Indian, still she is. I'm not a person who will feel shy seeing a beautiful girl, even I don't like her, but why Ryan is different. I met her after 10 years and still the feelings are same for her. Eunwoo is my best friend. I can't tell him how honestly I feel for her sister. I can't tell him that I want Ryan to be my. I can't tell him that I picture her face every night. Because I know Envy is not a good friend only, but also a caring and protective brother. Though they both quarrel a lot, but still I saw love in their eyes for each other. I'm not a person who can get attracted to anyone, but see the girl make. See. Hey Jungkook, where are you lost? Get up. It's getting late. I will show you to the guest room where you will stay for a few days until water leakage sort out in your house. Come get up, bunny. He said, snapping me back to the reality. I nodded and led me to the guest room. The next morning, I got up, freshened myself, and walked to the downstairs to the kitchen. As I was feeling hungry, I heard pots and pans slamming together while Vi and my heartbeat racing as usual around her was washing the dishes. There were two plates of breakfast on top of the kitchen counter. My stomach grumbled with hunger, but I think she cooked for Invu and herself, and why would she make breakfast for me? I thought to myself while rubbing my tummy. Suddenly she turned around with a light smile on her face. Oh, you woke up. Actually, Invu had already eaten his breakfast as he had to meet Professor Gayang for discussing about upcoming project. So these two plates are for us, she said. I looked at her shocked, unable to believe in my ears. She never behaves nicely to me. Then what happened to her all of a sudden? Is she okay or did her head hit something? Is this for me? I asked, looking at her. She nodded. I was afraid that she may after what happened. She is behaving nicely to me. I smiled, looking at her from behind as I grabbed the plate and scarfed it down within a minute. Thank you, Ryan, I said, finishing the food, but she nodded in a response. I grabbed the empty plate and took it to the wash basin where Ryan was doing the dishes. I snatched the sponge from her hands and started to wash the plate. Here, leave it, I will do that, she said, trying to snatch the plate from my hands. No, that's fine. Aren't you getting late for school? I asked, looking at her while watching the plate. Actually, our school principal last night, so school announced some holidays. He was about to cross the century but couldn't. She explained while wiping her hand with a small towel as she removed the apron. Oh, I see, I said, giving her a light smile. After doing the dishes, you went to the living room and plopping down on the couch, you fed mobile phone from the table as it rang. Jungkook also walked behind you in the living room as he sat on the same couch next to you. Hey David, how are you doing? You are smiling. looked at you in a disbelief. David, does she has a boyfriend? He thought in his mind while leaning closer to you so that he could hear your conversation. Hey Vayani, I am fine. Actually, are you free today? If yes, then let's go out and have some fun. How about if we go for some shopping? He asked in his jolly voice. Jungkook frowned, clenching his hands into fists. Actually, I'm sorry, David. Maybe next time, you said biting your nails. It's okay, we will go sometime later, he said and cut the call. You placed the mobile phone on the table and let out a sigh. In mind, such man he is. Jungkook cleared his throat and looked at you while playing with his hands. Does anyone knows about him? He asked, looking at you. Excuse me, why would he know? You asked, raising your eyebrows. What? You didn't tell your brother about your boyfriend? He asked, frowning while his jawline tightened. Are you crazy? What are you talking about? You asked, looking at him. So that boy on the phone call was not your boyfriend? Of course not. He is my classmate. That's all. You said, giving him a disbelief look. Your eyes got little watery. You never thought Jungkook would think of you like this. So he has no feelings for me. Oh, he can. You thought in your mind that you secretly had crush on him, but you always kept it to your heart. Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, you are so beautiful that I couldn't believe you are. He said, looking into your eyes. You looked back at him, and it seemed that the world had stopped. It was only you and left. You both lost into each other that you couldn't realize when you each other, and the very next moment you both were smiling at each other. He whispered near your ear, which made you blush heavily. On your soft ones, but all of a sudden the doorknob twisted, making your eyes widen. As you hurriedly ran upstairs to your room while holding your red cheeks, while Jungkook sat on the couch straight. It was an Yunwoo who walked inside the living room with a smile. Hey Yunwoo, you came back so early, he said, forcing a smile. JK in mind to ruin our moment. Yeah, my Mr. Gayong told me about project and then I came back, he said, throwing himself on the couch. By the way, where is Jean? He asked, looking around. How would I know? He shuddered, gulping down. Yunwoo hummed in a response and then went to the upstairs where he saw you laying on the bed while smiling to yourself. Hey, why are you smiling to yourself? Did you get a lottery? He said. You groaned on the floor. Why you are so annoying, Yunwoo? You yelled so loud that Jungkook got scared. He got up from the sofa and walked to the upstairs. His eyes widened when he saw you both quarreling on the floor. Hey, what are you doing? Leave Vian's hair, he said, trying to pull Yunwoo back. Are you in senses? Did you forget you are my friend? He asked, frowning. Jungkook gulped down, forcing a smile. Oh, hey Vian, please here, he said politely while blowing kiss which was unnoticed by Yunwoo. You blushed heavily and left his hair, making Yunwoo sigh in relief as he lay straight on the floor while breathing heavily. Jungkook looked at your messy hair and let out a small chuckle as you were looking like a 5-year-old baby. You glared at Jungkook and he smiled, feeling few. Jungkook then helped Yunwoo to get up from the floor and then they both left outside, leaving you feel just behind. You looked at yourself in the mirror and whined, "Oh, why I look so well, he will think about me. This Yunwoo has saved my life," you groaned. It was around 9 o'clock at night as Yunwoo had left outside to get a dinner while Jungkook denied, saying that he was not feeling well, but in reality he left in the middle before. Jungkook smirked and went upstairs to your room while you were in the shower. He searched for you in a room, but you were not there. As he twisted the doorknob and opened. He looked inside and his eyes widened while his mind gone blank. His heart started to beat fastly as he walked to you. Your eyes widened, seeing him in front of you. Jungkook, you mumbled, while millions of butterflies having party inside your stomach. Hey, how are you? He said, smirking. Time skip. We are gonna be best friend, you said. Yeah, of course, he said.